xây tương thân tình trong đạo Phật, tùy khác màu nhưng một tôn sư. Hôm nay đây cùng nhau họp mặt, quyết noi theo đường Phật giáo Hoàng Dương.
Thank you. We're back from the commercial break. And Anji, did you say you have a question for me?
Yeah, actually. So we were talking about building positive habits and, getting rid of anger, getting rid of greed. But in reality, not to say, but I've noticed or been around many people during school, during life, and sometimes they can be really negative and really angry, and it sometimes feels like there's no hope into changing how they think about things. And in your opinion, do you think that everyone has a chance to switch from having all these negative thoughts into having positive thoughts into their life? Is there hope for people in general as a whole to change themselves?
Yes. You can only change if you want to change. When we were in our teenage years, right? Whenever our parents tell us something, to do something that we didn't want to do, we become upset. Mm-hmm. Like, go do your bread, or go do the laundry, or take out the trash. Whenever they tell us to do something, we didn't really like it. Right? Unless when we have to realize it ourselves that we have to do it, only in that moment that we truly want to change. It's like working out. Someone tells you, "Oh, you got to work out," and the more they say it, the more you're like, "I don't want to do it." But one day you're going to have a realization that, okay, when you're walking up the stairs, you're breathing a little harder than you're supposed to, or you're doing a little bit of chores, and the next thing you know, your pulse is here, you're sweating, you're in pain everywhere. At that moment, you realize, okay, maybe I should work out. And at that moment in time, we make the decisions to change. And so the reason why I brought that up is because it doesn't matter who tells you to change from a negative to a positive. You won't change unless deep within yourself, you gotta say, I have to make a change. Only when you have that commitment, when you truly start to change. So to answer your question, is there any hope that someone who is negative will be able to change into someone that's positive? And the answer is yes. There's always hope. Why? Because the laws of impermanence. That everything changes at every single moment in time. Now, what is the laws of impermanence? The laws of impermanence is basically saying that everything in the universe constantly changes. Nothing ever stays the same. Like the moment we started the show until now, we are already 3 minutes older, 4 minutes older, right? 5 years from now, we'd be 5 years older. 20 years from now, this area might change. But 100 years from now, everyone that's watching the show, including myself, will eventually have to pass away. Why? Because if there's a start, there's a finish. If there's a beginning, there's an ending. If there's birth, there's going to be death. It's a simple concept of the laws of impermanence. However, the laws of impermanence is not something that happens very so often. It happens at every single moment in time. Let me prove it to you. Look at my hand. My hand here, you can see the cells, right? Look deeper into the cells, and what do you see? You'll see a lot of the organs or the organisms inside a working cell, the mitochondria, the nucleus, and all that. Go deeper into any of those cells, you can see that every single cell is made up of molecules. Look deeper into a molecule, and what do you see? You would see that every molecule is made up of atoms, subatomic particles. What are atoms made out of? Electrons, protons, and neutrons. But however, say for example, right now, I'm not moving my hand, right? And observe my hand. Even though my hand's not moving, the subatomic particles inside the electrons, protons, and neutrons are always constantly in motion. So therefore, even though we're not moving, our body is constantly changing at a very rapid rate. Just this morning, I shaved my head. And as you can feel, if you can hear it, you can see that hair has already grown out.
Yeah, same.
And it's constantly growing at every single moment in time. And so the reason why I brought up the laws of impermanence is because change happens at every single moment in time. Now, whether we adapt to this change or do not adapt to this change is up to us. Because change happens every so often, we have the power to change at this very moment. We cannot change the past because it's already happened. We cannot change the future because it hasn't come yet. The only moment in time that we have control and full control and all of the powers that we have to change is the now, the very moment right now. Now, how can a negative person change into a positive person? It all starts with the fundamentals. And it all starts with generosity. If you truly want to change, help others get what they want. You in turn receive everything you want. Help everyone get what they want. You in turn receive everything you want. What does that mean? It means that help those less fortunate. Help those who cannot help themselves. Help those that need the help of others. If you have every power that you can to give back, then give back. Like I said in the last previous shows, the laws of cause and effect does not discriminate whether it's a $100 bill, a $1 bill, a 25 cents, or a penny. It only matters in that moment of time. What you're thinking is what matters. And so it's never too late for someone to change. But they can only change if they truly want to change.
So yeah, I understand that now. I mean, I see that if someone recognizes their negative behavior and if they finally commit and want to make this step forward and to change, it's all really up to them. So I feel like us as human beings have this great power of intellect, and we either may use it to one side or the other side. We might go alongside the Buddha's cause and effect and heeding his words, follow that, and live a life where we're full of abundance and happiness. Otherwise, we're ignorant and we don't follow that kind of rule, and we're bound to be more angry and more greedy and just kind of live a little bit more miserably. So I hope our friends can kind of see that if we can change that thing, have them recognize behavior, but give them hope that it's always time for change, and it'll really empower the individual. And so kind of my last question is there a way where you kind of draw the line in which you act generosity? Is there a kind of a situation where you can give out too much?
Yeah. It's important that we practice generosity. It's very important. However, practicing compassion is just one half of the equation.
Only one half.
Only one half. The other half is wisdom. You can only practice to truly give generosity with wholesome thoughts and wholesome actions, basically wholesome generosity. It must be practiced with compassion and wisdom, like wings on a bird. A bird cannot fly with just one wing, right?
Right.
It needs two wings to fly. Practicing generosity is the exact same way. For example, you go down and you take a walk, you see someone that's homeless. Now, if that person smells like a drug user, looks like a drug user, talks like a drug user or abuser, basically their vibe, if you were to give a $20 bill, you know that they would use that $20 bill to go buy drugs, then you would not give that $100 bill. However, if you see someone that needs a dollar bill or whatever, to stand on their 2 feet, use your wisdom, your intuition, your gut, and analyze the situation. Once you have the wisdom along with compassion, that itself becomes truly the generosity that the Buddha taught. So yes, you can harm others by giving too much carelessly.
I see.
There's always have to be a form of wisdom or a form of making sure that whatever you give out, you're not giving out with bad intention, but you're giving out with the intention to help others. So yes, make sure whenever you practice generosity, you practice it the wholesome way. But unfortunately, we don't have time to continue further. Just to wrap things up, always diligently practice the Buddha's teachings. Never become lazy about it. If you practice the Buddha's teachings consistently, it will change your life. And I say that's out of experience, out of both our experience, that it truly changed our life. And so we hope that it will change yours as well. So we will see you in the upcoming episode. Namo Bổn Sư. Thích cảm ơn.
Xây tương thân tình trong đạo Phật, tùy khác màu nhưng một tôn sư. Hôm nay đây cùng